compelled to just apologise constantly for everything that happened in the past. Why are we doing this?
That's right. It's a very strange act of masochism, really, and an act of masochism carried out by people who don't seem to know anything. I mean, people talk about the British monarchy having to apologise for slavery. It was King George III who signed the Anti-Slavery Act into law in 1807. Prince Albert gave one of the most extraordinary anti-slavery addresses when the British were still...
Hi everyone, welcome back again to another interesting and amazing reaction video. Guys, we are going to be checking out this video from Douglas Murray, and the title of this video goes like this: Where do we stop? Pierceman on slavery, reparation and apologizing for history. Wow, guys, I'm super sure you're going to love and enjoy every bit of this. So no further talking, let's dive into it and watch it out.
Well, today is of course the 4th of July. It's a day that America celebrates because they booted we British out, our monarchy out, our mad King George dropped the ball. Otherwise I would possibly be King Piers right now of the United States of America. So we don't obviously celebrate it with quite such enthusiasm over this side of the pond. But amid the hot dogs and fireworks, even this day of patriotic celebration in the States has become divisive. There's a growing trend for black Americans to celebrate Juneteenth as an alternative to July 4th. Veteran Congresswoman Maxine Waters in 2021 claimed the Declaration of Independence wasn't for equality and it was only for white men. Her comments were echoed by her fellow Democrat Cori Bush, who said black people still aren't free. So is there something in all this? Should these national institutions and occasions be opportunities for reflection and apology rather than celebration? Well, joining me now is best-selling author of The War on the West and conservative commentator Douglas Murray, country music legend Lee Greenwood, and my Talk TV contributor Paula Rowan-Adrian, and Talk TV presenter Richard Tice. All right, well, a stellar panel. Douglas, let me start with you. You wrote a great piece this week for The Telegraph about this weird trend. I agree with you. I think it's weird, where we're being compelled to just apologise constantly for everything that happened in the past. Why are we doing this?
That's right. It's a very strange act of masochism, really, and an act of masochism carried out by people who don't seem to know anything. I mean, people talk about the British monarchy having to apologise for slavery. It was King George III who signed the Anti-Slavery Act into law in 1807. Prince Albert gave one of the most extraordinary anti-slavery addresses when the British were still policing the anti-slave trade on the high seas in 1840 to the Anti-Slavery League in London. All of this was addressed 200 years ago. And today, unfortunately, there's a kind of new type of malcontent, and usually also a huckster to boot, who just decides that none of this happened. Usually it's because they don't know it happened. And as a result, they look at our history and everything in our country, right up to just, innocent pastimes like cricket, and they decide to name everything as guilty. And, you could do this to everyone and to everything, but most civilizations and cultures don't behave like this because most of them aren't just masochistic and so self-hating.
All right, Paula, your response to that?
I actually agree with Douglas about the fact that we don't know enough. He's absolutely right. We don't know enough, and it's important that we do. But part of the knowledge is also understanding the hurt and pain that were caused, not just about the good things. It's not just about the cherry picking. And wrongs are not about being masochistic. Saying sorry is not a bad thing. Saying sorry is actually a very empowering thing to do.
Why does it matter that a bunch of royals now get forced into issuing grovelling apology? Who cares? How does it change anything? It doesn't do anything, in my estimation, to impact on current slavery, where it exists around the world. It doesn't really make any difference to institutional racism, as we've seen in certain parts of society. I don't know what difference it makes. It might make people feel a bit better to see a royal grovelling, but so what?
See, I don't agree with you, surprise, surprise. I do think it makes a difference. I do think it makes a difference that people in power are heard to acknowledge pain and hurt. I do think it's important that people in power have taken the time.
But whose pain and hurt are you talking about? It's not people living today. These are going back hundreds of years in some cases, these crimes of slavery and so on. We all agree it was outrageous. It's been debated really year after year after year. We all know this. I don't think that people have a lack of knowledge. And I'm not quite sure where the apology tour ends. What's the end game here?
So the end game is about the ability to understand the true history, not just the part of history that we have been taught. And that is the difficulty. So you're talking about who's the apology for. Well, the apology is for me. The apology is for those who have suffered. The apology is for those who continue to struggle through colonialism and through slavery. And I do think that it's important that royalty are coming forward and saying, we apologise for the part that we...
All right,
so is that it? Is that enough? When is enough enough? If we all say sorry today... Hang on.
The British government, when is enough enough? To repay, to compensate slavery.
So if we all say sorry today...
enough?
Well, that's my question to you, and you're not answering it.
My point is,
if we all say sorry today, it was terrible, which we all know.
Yeah.
Can we then say, right, that's done, we're going to look forwards, we're going to be positive, we're going to celebrate our achievements, learn from our failures, and we're done with apologising?
Absolutely. And so how are we going to learn from our failures if we do not understand what we did wrong?
You learn from your failures because that's what we're doing at the moment. The sort of report you had from the...
How do you learn from your failures if you don't know what you did wrong? If you refuse to accept that you did wrong?
Because the cricket board, the ECB, they've just produced a report. They've reported. Some of it was good. Some of it you can criticise or question. The point is, we've learned from that. We're moving on. We're celebrating. We're being positive. Otherwise,
how have we learned?
I tell you what it does. It depresses everybody. It leads to a perception of decline.
I agree with that. I think what it does. I want to bring in Lee Greenwood here, who's a big country star in America, and he wrote "God Bless the USA," one of the great anthems celebrating the United States. It's July 4th. Obviously, as I said at the start here, Lee, we don't celebrate it with quite such enthusiasm this side of the pond. We sort of take a view that Mad King George dropped the ball a bit, but I'm happy for my American friends that you have this day to celebrate. You wrote this great anthem, really, for your country. Can we be proud of our country anymore, or is this kind of this desire to feel this terrible regret about everything and apology for everything? Does that mar the pride? How do you feel?
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say the people that I run with and talk to, and believe me, I tour across America all the time. We do 140, 50 days a year, every doghouse, outhouse, and roundhouse. And I talk to the American public. They listen to what I say, listen to what I sing. I happen to be a country music performer, but I was born in California, spent 20 years in Nevada. I live in the South now. And I wrote this song because it was for unity. It's a unity and for military sacrifice. And yeah, America started as an interesting expedition and then an experiment, and we fought it out. We fought each other in the Civil War and said, okay, we're going to bury the hatchet here. The trouble is, as we move forward, a lot of people try to change history. I'm okay with history. I'm okay with apologizing for what happened back then. But I agree with you, that was back then. Let's move forward. Let's move on past that, and let's not change history and try to change what happened.
Yeah, I completely agree. Douglas, the problem is we've forgotten how to be genuinely proud of our great countries, both America and the United Kingdom, two of the greatest countries in the world. It's almost like every day now, somebody somewhere, normally on the left, the woke left, is queuing up to find a reason to hate the countries and their histories.
Well, it's a kind of grievance competition. Your guest earlier just tried to engage in it. I don't know what hurt she believes she's had from slavery. All of this was addressed 2 centuries ago. Everything has consequences. All history has consequences and ramifications. But, you know, if we were to play this fairly, we would at least look at all of the countries around the world that engaged in the slave trade who are simply not interested in any form of reparations. The Ottoman Empire, all the Arab countries who not just traded far more slaves than across the Atlantic, but castrated all the men so that there wouldn't be any more African slaves after them. They worked them to the bone. I see no interest across Africa in paying reparations for selling their brother and sister Africans into slavery or for working them to the bone to the present day. There is slavery across Africa today. In fact, there are more slaves in the world today than there were at the height of the transatlantic slave trade. So some of us are simply a bit bored of hearing people ripping at closed wounds and then crying about their hurt or their presumed hurt, because everybody could do this. 1 million Europeans were stolen by North Africans over the course of decades of the North African Barbary pirate slave trade. Where would you end if you did that? The answer is you couldn't end, because nobody is alive who has actually suffered the hurt, and nobody is alive who did the wrong. And I'd make one other point, if I may. It's always the countries that people want to come to who are put through this struggle session. Britain, like America and France, are the most desired destinations for migrants worldwide and have been for centuries. Why is that? It's not because we're racist, it's because we're better, it's because we're good, it's because when we see racism, we actually call it out and recognize it as a sin. Try finding that across Africa, try finding that across the Middle East or in China. Nobody would hear. So what we have is a situation where the more virtuous countries are presented as the worst countries. It's sick, and most of us are tired of it.
Thank you, Douglas.
I am so sorry that Douglas is bored by the pain that has come from
That's not what he said.
through slavery.
He didn't say. He didn't say. But what you're doing there, what you're doing, yeah. But hang on, Paula. Paula, you're being very disingenuous. That's not what he said.
I am.
And viewers aren't stupid. They know exactly what he said. He's not saying he's bored by the pain. He's saying, and I think it's a perfectly valid point, the pain that people who are alive today are claiming they're suffering for what happened 200 or 300 years is not a real pain. They're not the ones who suffered what was going on 200 or 300 years ago.
So, in terms of justice for all, I mean, I think we'd all agree that there should be
I'm not
justice.
suffering from when the Normans invaded this country.
Agree.
I'm not suffering from what my ancestors went through.
I noticed that I'm not being allowed to respond.
Or from the Romans. In other words, where do you take this? I mean, should I now be feeling pain from what the Romans did to this country?
In terms of slavery, I can take it to 2015, when the slave owners were compensated by the government. So I can take it to that extent.
But where does your personal pain come?
And I can say to you, that I don't think that apologising is a bad thing. I think that apologising for a wrong is a good thing. I think that the Dutch royal family have done a fantastic thing in acknowledging what has gone wrong
I hear you, but
in society.
I honestly think it'll make no difference at all.
Wow, guys, what an interesting video and interesting debates. Once again, I'm going to read out the title: Where do we stop? Pierre Morgan on slavery, reparation, and apologizing for history. Wow, this was really interesting. Wow, guys, I mean, for how long are the whites going to be apologizing for the black? Yes, how long are they going to be apologizing for the black or for the slave trading? Yes, because I know that this slave trading, it happened just according to what Douglas Murray said. He said that this slave trading, it happens in, is it 200 or 2000 years ago? I've forgotten, but it have been long. And during those periods when it happened, I believe they apologize. I mean, for how long are they going to keep on apologizing? Because even to the Africa, I don't think they still knew this apology, because we have gone beyond that. Okay, most of the African countries, they have outgrown that. Yes, and whatever that happened those days, it has happened and it has happened. So even if they keep on apologizing, what is the apology going to do? Because the deed has been done. The deed has already been done. Okay, and what they should be looking at is, is on how to improve more and not apologizing. So I mean, for how long are they going to be apologizing? I could remember this video that I shared recently, where Apache was demanding an apology from Charlie Cake, and what Charlie Cake told him is that he cannot apologize because he didn't offend him and he know nothing about that. So he said that he was not going to apologize for that. So the same thing applies to this, because a lot of the whites, a lot of the people that engage on this trade slavery 200 years ago. Most of them, guys, they are nowhere to be found. Yes, most of them are gone. They are gone and gone for good. So the whites that we have now, they do not engage on slave trading. Yes, they were not the one. It was their forefathers. It was their forefather that did that. So the whites that we have now, they do not engage on slave trading, and I don't see any reason why they should keep on apologizing for something that took place 200 years ago. Beside the Britain and the other country that engage on that slave trading, they apologize. Yes, they have already apologized for that long time ago. So for how long are they going to be apologizing? I mean, what has happened has already happened. So what they should be looking at is a way forward to to improve, to do more better, to be of good citizens, and not apologizing for something that took place 200 years ago, because it's gone. That is long, very long time ago. So I don't think the apology is needed again. I mean, like for the Africa, they have even outgrown that. And for those people that were the slave trading, I mean, they are gone. They are gone, and they are gone for good. So like even in UK, a lot of repatriation have been made. Like they have been apologizing for long. They have been apologizing. Even some of the black that claim that they should apologize for this slave trading. They never suffered the slave trading, because the people that were involved, they are long time ago gone, 200 years ago. So they are gone. So the present black that is demanding for an apology, I do not think that they know nothing, that they know something about the slave trading, and I don't think they suffer from it. I don't think they suffer from it. So the people that suffer from this slave trading, they have been gone. Yes, they are gone. So I think what they should be looking at is how to improve. Just like what Douglas Murray said. He said, for how long are we going to keep on apologizing? I mean, these people has already apologized. They have accepted their wrong, and they have apologized several times. And he said, for how long are they going to keep on apologizing for this? For how long? For how long? Even the present whites that we have now, they don't own slave trading. They do not engage in slave trading. Yes. Okay, guys, that is that for now. There is this another point that Douglas Murray made. He said that that most people prefer to migrate to the Britain because they think that Britain is better. Is a place of green passion, and they are against races, and when they see races, they talked about it. So I think Douglas Murray made another point there, because America is a place of green passion. It's a place that everyone loves to go. Everyone loves to go there, to search for their daily bread, education, everything. So I believe most people, they love going to the America or to the Britain. So he said that that when they see races, that they normally talk about it, and that is quite good and very, very impressive of them. So guys, talking about this slave trading, I mean, the present black, I don't think there is any kind of or slavery now. And even if there is slavery now in Africa, I think the British, I think they are against that. Okay, so I don't know for how long are they going to keep on apologizing. I mean, they have accepted they are wrong. They have accepted that, okay, that what their forefather did was wrong, and they have apologized severally on that, and a lot of the black are still demanding for an apology. I mean, like, what this apology is going to do, what is it going to do to the black? Like, what happened has already happened. Yes, it has already happened. A lot of people that suffered from that slave trading, they are long time ago gone. Yes, I know they suffered a lot. Yes, I know they suffered a lot, and they are gone. So what they should be looking at is how to improve, or how to do more better, how to be of good citizen, and not apologizing, because the apology is not going to do any good, because what happened has already happened. It has happened, and it has happened. And you know, there is this word that say that you cannot take the hand of clock back. Yes, you cannot take the hand of clock back. So what has happened has happened. So what they should be looking at is to prevent it not to happen again, even in the nearest few years, few decades to come. So what they should be thinking is how to prevent it not to happen again, so that our kids or our children will not suffer from slave trading again. So according to Douglas Murray, he said that they have apologized. Yes, they have apologized several times. Yes, several times. And to me, I think the apologies should be accepted. And the other lady said that, okay, that it's not wrong for someone to apologize for the wrongdoing that he or she have done. Yes, actually she was right. It's good for someone to apologize for what he or she has done that is actually wrong. But the people involved have already apologized. They have said sorry. They have said that, okay, that they are truly sorry. After all, they are not even the one that did that. It was their forefathers that did that, and they have apologized several times. So guys, I'm really so excited sharing this video with you, and I hope you guys find this video to be very, very interesting. You guys know that I would always appreciate and welcome each of your comments under the comment section. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. So do you think that the America should keep on apologizing? What do you think about it? Do you think they should keep on apologizing for this slave trading? What do you think? If you are a black or you are from Africa, you are watching it, do you think that they should keep on apologizing for this slave trading? Or do you think that what we will be needing now is, is improvement, how to do better, how to make it not to happen again? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching, and see you all in my next video. Bye.